With that being said, I want to go back to the phone lines. And, ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the line, he is the former WWE Intercontinental Champion, also a former multiple-time tag team champion for the WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, the music speaks for itself. Welcome to the program, none other than Rikishi Fatu. Rikishi, what's going on tonight?
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you guys taking the time to have me on the show here.
We're glad to have you on the show. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. Of course, as I was talking to you in the break just a second ago, I'm JJ. Joining me on the line from the UK, he is the webmaster and owner of headlockstoheadlines.com, none other than Chris Kelly. Chris, you there?
Hey, man. How's it going?
How you doing, Chris? Big shout-out to my fans out there in the UK, man. One love for you guys out there. Appreciate you.
Well, man, you know what? It is a total honor to speak to you. I mean, here in England, it's 4:30 in the morning, but there's no way that I'm going to miss a chance to interview you. I mean, in my eyes, you are one of the best workers that I've seen in in wrestling in general. So it's a big honor on my part to have you on the show.
Well, it's my pleasure, and it's my honor as well. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. JJ, do you want to start?
Yeah, I do, actually. Before we actually get too in-depth on the career, I know you've got a lot of things going on, but one of the things that really interests me is the fact that, and I didn't realize that you had twin sons. Jimmy and Jay are both in the WWE right now, the USO Brothers, and I got to say, man, over the last little bit, they're starting to get that push that I kind of felt like they deserved a long time ago, even though the WWE doesn't really have, for lack of a better term, a cohesive tag team division. But over the last couple of months, it looks like they've really gelled, with giving them a significant push. I like the new entrance that they've got, doing the tribal chants.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because, it caught me off guard when that first happened. I thought, wow, that was amazing.
Well, first of all, I'm very proud and happy of my sons, and I'm happy that the opportunity that's given out there with them. To go back with the haka, the new entrance that they have, it's an entrance of Polynesians when they get ready to go to war. This is something that they used to do back in the day. So I'm very happy that they're able to put that into our entrance in there to be able to kind of bring a little bit of the custom into their deal there. Now, being with the tag team, it's a good thing that they're finally letting them to kind of showcase their skills. And, in time, what I talked about to the boys that, when you get time for that opportunity, it's up to you guys to take that opportunity. And, I'm happy to give it to them.
Oh, absolutely. And there was a rumor going around they were going to be splitting them up about, I'd say, a couple months ago. And I was so relieved to see that they're back on SmackDown. They look fantastic. The in-ring work, not that it was ever shoddy, but the in-ring work is great between these two.
Well, I'm glad things worked out because at the time I was thinking about bringing them into the territory league. I heard you guys sending a shout-out as far as the rundown of what's going on in SmackDown. If people have seen the Territory League tonight on territoryleague.com, we had a pretty big thing going tonight against my cousin Jay Blita, and also with some of the guys of Rick Luxury, Bay City Union, and the Territory League, what we got going on there. So if in case the boys weren't happy there with the company there, they always have another place to come, and that's the Territory League.
Absolutely.
You bring up the Territory Leagues. Now, I've been watching that for the last few weeks, and it is a fantastic product, fantastic company, and I feel like it's hitting something that both WWE and TNA are missing. It has defined divisions, which I absolutely love. You have every division. Sorry, carry on.
Well, Kelly, I'm sorry. The thing is, with this company here and this Territory League, I've been in wrestling and I've seen it all. Within the last 25 years in this business and with the dynasty of Samoan dynasty and family, I have never, ever seen a company or a concept like this being done in professional wrestling within the last 60 years of my family being in this business. And it's very exciting to me. And just from the feedbacks from the fans and so forth, it's something new. It's something that what we always talk about on Twitter to our fans. It's something that I've never seen in professional wrestling, and it's just an exciting thing to be a part of, being at the end of during my career at this time. So for those of you guys haven't checked it out, please go to territoryleague.com and check it out and post up your opinions on Twitter.
Yes, do, because like I say, it's a great product. I was watching the tag match just before I came on, and that is something that I think every company right now is missing out on. There are no tag team wrestlers. I mean, your Sons are a tag team, but they're not the tag champions. I mean, we have the Nexus who are. And it looks like both companies, WWE and TNA, are just like, okay, we need you and you. You're not a tag team, you're two mid-card talents, but you're due. And it's great to see that the Territory Leagues is actually going back and putting pride in the tag team division.
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing, Kelly, is that I'm very proud of the Territory League, is that we highlight everybody in this Territory League. Again, it's city versus city. It's the best 5 out of each city, and these guys are able to come in there to mix it up. We have the heavyweight division, the cruiserweight, the lucha libre, who's a family. There's so many Latinos out there that love lucha libre, and being a part in the Territory League, I think it's an awesome idea.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna. I have not had a chance to check out the Territory League, so I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Are you kidding me, JJ? You better get your butt over there and check out the Territory League, because everybody else is, you know?
Hey, Rikishi, you've got me sold, brother. I don't want to stink face. I'll check it out, I promise. I was going to ask you, prior to bring up the Territory League, though, before you came up with the idea to start this league up, had you had any contact with the WWE in regards to maybe going in with your Sons, maybe in a managerial capacity? Was there any talk of you ever coming back and doing anything like that?
No, I haven't talked to WWE in a while. I still talk to certain friends of mine, but on a business tip, I have not. We've been just so busy with our company of Knoxville Entertainment. We just got through doing the tour in Hulkamania out there in Australia. We were the one that spearheaded that company out there, a few with others. And with our school that we have at Knoxville in Los Angeles, well, we have an academy. We got the Knoxville Entertainment going on, and with the Territory League, it's just, my hands are full right now, JJ.
Oh, no, I hear you. I was just curious if that was ever something that they had come to you on, but no, it does sound like you're pretty busy with this Territory League.
Yeah, well, I mean, not to say that, you never say never. You know what I mean? In this business here, JJ, you know how it is. You got different writers that come in and out, and sometimes the storylines don't stay the same. You know that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. Now, going over your career, I mean, you started obviously, in the tag teams as a part of the Samoan SWAT team, of course, the Head Shrinkers. You've had several gimmicks in obviously the WWE, ranging from the Make a Change Fatu to the Sultan to, of course, Rikishi. Of all the gimmicks that you've had in your career, is there one that you really liked the best, or was there one that you didn't like the best?
I'd have to say the one that I didn't like was the Make a Change character, just because it was something that it wasn't thought out well. There wasn't being too much thought being put into it from the company, and that was the kind of the downfall, the roller coaster career that I had there as far as with character. Now, a lot of people are going to be shocked when I say this, but I really liked the character of the Sultan. I thought, being timing-wise, I thought that the Sultan would have been a good headline main eventer type of character. And, of course, again, it goes back to storylines and given the opportunity, it was Kabah. So, the Head Triggers was a big deal because we won the tag team with our family members. And during the time we were there with Yokozuna and Uncle Alpha, and but the top of the deal was I'd have to say Rikishi, and I was very happy how I went out as far as with that character.
You talk about Yokozuna there for a second. He was literally one of the obviously a huge guy. He was, to me, the most agile big man I've ever seen in this business, and that includes guys Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, to me, he was the most agile big man I've ever seen in this business. For a guy that weighed, close to 600 pounds or more, for the things that he could do inside that ring, he has always been one of my all-time favorites in this business.
Well, you know what? It's in the Samoan blood. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of people has talked about that. I think I overheard something about being said about Samoan Joe with the weight. It's true that if we all do drop a few, we would be able to perform better and not only feel healthy more better. But weight issues with Samoans, brother, I mean, it's not no issue. It's an issue to people that think that we can't carry that weight and think that we can't perform the same. But I feel that, Samoan Joe, again, I mean, to me, it's like this guy, whatever it is, he can still mix it up with the best out there, given the opportunity. And in this business, there's a lot of politics that you go through, and sometimes a way out that the company will see fit to kind of throw that weight issue on you. And it is what it is. Just give them the opportunity, and we'll showcase exactly what we got.
I want to bring up Too Cool because when I was younger, I grew up watching Too Cool. As they played, the song was awesome, and nowadays when you have theme songs, they just don't stand out. I mean, every song, apart from the main guys, is basically the same. I mean, how awesome was it to get to dance to that song, basically every week on every show?
Well, I mean, the song was awesome. Being that if it made me dance, then it must be good. I'm not a person that that's easy to dance. You got a big 400 pound Samoan, feeling the groove out there and feeling his beat. It was an awesome song. The Too Cool era and the Attitude era, with myself with Scotty and Brian, was something that's magical. It was something that's born from the fans. And it was one of those things that the fans loved it. They bought it. They made it. And they put us on the map. So that was one of the highlights in my career. And, I miss my friends, Scotty and Brian. And it was a very happy reunion that me and Scotty just had in the Territory League, where we were able to team up and tag team up together. Within the last 7 years, we haven't mixed it up. And the Territory League was able to give us that opportunity to be able to give the fans who they always talk about, when are you guys going to get together, Rikishi? When is Too Cool and Rikishi going to get there together? And I want to thank the Territory League for giving us that opportunity.
Hang on a sec, Crowley. I can remember the first time I ever saw you dance. You put the shades on, and I was amazed. I was like, oh, my God. Because that was something you don't expect to see, a big 400-pound guy bust a move like that and be that fluid in the ring. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, the crowd, you were so over with the crowd for doing that. And that was the highlight to me when you finished your matches and you put the glasses on and you became that dancing machine. That was just epic.
I was so happy to do something different at the end of our gig, being that everybody got their own little deal and their own little character. But, I wanted to get away from that old 1, 2, 3, raise your hand, stand on the turnbuckle, and then leave. I felt that what if I were to do something different, that either whether we win or lose, but give the fans a treat, give them something that they remember, every time we come out. And that's when we kind of came together with that dance step at the end. And that was my way of saying to the fans, thank you so much. And the fans to me now, I gave them a name. The Territory League gave them a name on Twitter, and it's called I Am Wrestling. To me, the true, real people that are the wrestlers are the fans, and that's where that phrase goes to. From now on in, I am wrestling.
I like it.
You bring up the fans and how the WWE was TV-14 during the Attitude Era. I wonder how over would Too Cool be now in this PG-friendly era, because you guys were over like crazy when it was aimed at the adults, aimed at the kids. The sky would literally be the limit for you guys, because that whole dunk gimmick was fantastic, and like all the kids loved it. I mean, I remember back, and I know I'm kind of a bit nerdy. I used to go to wrestling camps, and people used to try and mimic the Too Cool dance, and that's when this was aimed at adults.
I also know there's a lot of people trying to mimic the stink face out there right now, huh?
Yeah, Kelly being one of them.
Well, shout out to Kelly, man. I'm glad we can get out here so everybody on Twitter and the whole world can kind of see us, hear us laughing about this. And it's a good thing that, that there's a lot of networks that are out there now to be able to, bring forth people that the fans love so they can kind of hear our voices and so forth, and just to say, thank you so much to all the fans out there and all over the world that's been supporting my career. And thank you so much for all the Twitter emails that are hitting up with our territory league and so forth. And I got nothing but love for you guys. Thank you.
Now, I do want to cover something really quickly. One of my favorite Rikishi moments happened at the 2000 Royal Rumble when it came down to both Scotty 2 Hotty and, of course, Grandmaster Sexay and, of course, Rikishi all in the ring. The three of you, the lights dimmed, the dance started, and then at the end you throw them over the top rope. I love that. That was, quite frankly, one of the best moments because they looked at you and were like, oh, well, it is the Royal Rumble. We have to do this, right? But
once again, that's one of the highlights in my career. And I'm, when you say entertainment, you got to think of things to entertain the fans. These people here paid hard-earned money to come into the arenas, and when you have a family of 5 and so forth, it's not cheap. So we always, myself, we were raised like that from Mapachiko. When you go out there to perform in that ring, you try to give your fans and these people that paid hard-earned money to come and watch you, you try to go out there and perform and entertain as much as you can.
Now, I was say, in the chat room, they're bringing up Armageddon, when you were choke-slammed off the cell onto the sawdust. What were your thoughts? And they go, okay, we want you to go really high and then fall really far onto some sawdust. I mean, what was going through your mind when they came to you with that idea?
Well, first of all, I was scared as hell, There's no reason for a big 450-pound guy to be up there in a 50 feet high steel cage. But it's one of those things, when we kind of went over the spot and kind of looked at the cage and so forth, and then, I'm looking at this truck where I need to fall. It's just said and done. But, when you get up there and you're in front of 20,000 people screaming their head off, it's nothing like that feeling. It's like you're not scared or nothing. All your fears are put aside and everything. And all you're thinking about is just getting out there and performing for these people that are screaming their heads off and that are appreciating what you do. And I thank God that I was protected that night, that God was giving me the strength to be able to land in my spot and be able to walk away from that gig, not being in the ambulance and not being in the hospital. So, I was very lucky that evening.
Now, going back to that angle where you actually turned into a heel for running over Stone Cold Steve Austin, was that something that they came to you and said, okay, look, we want to turn you heel. We think that you've kind of gotten stale as a face character. I mean, how did that come about?
Well, I don't think, JJ, that I got stale as a heel character. I think just at the time, the storylines, being that the people that were brought in at the time, I think they were bringing in different creative writers within every 2 months, every month, and they were just, the storylines would go on, and next thing you know, it's being cut. I felt that it was too early for me to turn heel. But then again, I kind of sat and I thought about it, that at the time, if I didn't turn heel, that my goal was to be able to one day be the main event spot to work against guys like Steve, guys like Undertaker, guys like The Rock, and so forth. And at that time, our roster was so stocked up with baby faces on the babyface side. So business-wise, it was good for Rikishi to turn over to the heel. It's bad for the fans, and I know they were very upset because they really did the deal with. They wanted to love us. They never wanted to hate me and Too Cool. So when I kind of made that switch over on a business tip, it was I was happy I did it. Sad for the fans, but as far as with my career, I was able to work with guys like Steve and Rock in the main event.
Now, was that a storyline they came to you like a couple of months in advance, or was it kind of just thrown together at the last minute?
It was thrown, I heard about it, we talked about it, and we kind of just threw it up in the air until I was satisfied as far as how it was going to go down. So, it was thought about within a couple months before.
Okay.
Now, I've got a question from my friend Dane Knotts. Now, that whole storyline where you ran over Austin, it was kind of cut short, and your push to the main event was just like given to Triple H. I mean, what were your thoughts on basically never being pushed as the main event star?
Well, again, this is the wrestling business. You're in the entertainment business, and this is the part of the business that a lot of people don't understand. That when things like this happen in this business, I wasn't too happy about it, but it is what it is. And at the time, I wanted to try to protect myself the best way I can in there while I was up in this mix-up. There was a lot of stars that was being involved in this so-called angle, and I'm very happy that I was a part of this deal. But I would have liked to have seen myself to at least get a shot at the WWE title to be able to end off my career the way that every wrestler dreams to end off. And it is what it is, and that's what Kelly.
So, like, kind of what led to your release from the year? I mean, because I knew that they reformed Too Cool with you and Scotty, and then you kind of like just like went off TV. What led to your release from the WWE?
No, well, I asked for my release.
Okay.
I didn't see fit at the time that I was getting lost in the shuffle, and I felt like there was the character itself wasn't being used the proper way that I felt, and I just didn't want to be one of those guys that worked so hard to get to the top, and then have a different writer come in there that don't know this character, don't know me, and just actually doing whatever he wants to write just for a paycheck. So for me to protect myself and the characters that I worked so hard for, I went ahead and just asked for my release out of the company.
Then you did go over to TNA, and you were there for like 3 or 4 weeks. What happened within TNA? Because I loved your role there, and then once again you just disappeared. What happened?
Well, I mean, we gonna keep it 100 here on this radio show here. They actually didn't come up with the numbers that I wanted. At the time, I came in there. I was only there for a couple of weeks, and I believe it was during the time that they went into their first 2-hour shows onto the network. And I think there was a lot of politicking going on. I felt like I think that they felt like they just wanted to see if I was still over with the fans. And I was going on after Sting and Angle, which they had an angle going on. And I was the one that was closing up the show on that 2-hour show. And, they put me in that position, but I was able, again, thank you to the fans, they were able to put me over, as far as with the company. And they just didn't come through with the numbers that I wanted. And, I stood my ground, and when the politics came in, I told them it's best for me to, I'm not interested now.
I want to touch on one thing really quickly. I mean, you, and you mentioned this earlier, but you are literally from probably one of the biggest wrestling families, if not the biggest wrestling family, I think, in the world. The Samoan family, guys like Jimmy Snuka. You've got the Maivia family. You've got, Samu. Of course, the Tonga Kid, Yokozuna.
Black Pearl.
Yes. What is it like growing up into this family? Are you pretty much predestined that you're going to be a professional wrestler? I mean, just judging, Alpha Sika, everybody involved in this family. I mean, it's almost like you guys are bred to be professional wrestlers. What's it like growing up as a Samoan in a family like that?
Well, I mean, I'm very honored growing up in my family and be able to represent my family. I'm very lucky. We all are. We're very lucky to have our uncles Peter Maivia and Alpha Sika to be able to teach us the ropes in this business. Most of all our family members that became professional wrestlers were already athletes, JJ and Kelly. Some of us played basketball, some of us played football, rugby back home in Ireland, and it was just a part of learning the business. And thanks to the guidance of our uncles Alpha and Sika, we were able to learn the ropes in pro wrestling. And it's the most difficult thing I want to say probably for me was when we came in as part of the head shrinkers in the WWE, and we were always like, I felt like there was a lot of pressure that we had to fulfill the wild Samoan type of deal in there, and it was very a lot of pressure, but being that my uncle was there with me and Samuel at the time, and Yokozuna, he was always there, not only as an uncle, but I was a coach for us, and kind of giving us, that old coach pep talk when you're talking to your team, to calm down, this is your time, go in there and do what you do best, you belong here, believe in yourself, and just that type of positive vibe. And I think a lot of that that's instilled in us through our Samoan ways, as far as growing up and respecting your parents and learning how to love each other and so forth and believe in each other. And we were very lucky to have our uncles being a part of our life in this business.
Do you have a favorite moment in your career that stands out?
My favorite moment in this business, I don't know if you've seen it, but it went viral throughout the whole world. When I just jumped off, I think it was about 2 months ago, I just jumped off the containment cells in the territory league. It kind of brought me back when I jumped off the cage on Val Venus in 2000, Armageddon in Dallas, Texas. So, I didn't think that at my age right now, at 45, that I'd be into a containment cell in territory league, being locked up like an animal, and then all of a sudden you get that animal instinct and want to jump off the C2K on top of one of our guys, Jay Bleeder. So, I still got that fire in me, JJ. I still got that itch to be able to go out there and perform for my fans. And I just miss everybody. I miss the vibe of being able to perform. And I think that I'll probably die in the ring before I'm through with this thing here.
Well, I'm definitely going to check that out because I was not aware of that. I have to see that.
Yeah, please do, man. I ask you guys to check it out, man. It's the new movement that's going on. I'm very, very proud to say that we're being looked at over 60 countries throughout the world. We have so many teams that are overseas as well that are wanting to come into the territory league and mix it up with the teams nowadays.
Well, very cool. And as far as the territory league goes, you can find it where again?
You can go on territoryleague.com, okay. Exactly what it says. If you're new and you don't know about it, all you got to do is hit up the people on Twitter, go to my IM fans, and they'll tell you exactly where to find territoryleague.com. We're on Tuesdays. We just went free. We do free web series for the fans to be able to watch these the bouts that goes on from Tuesday through Fridays. And if you haven't seen it, JJ and Kelly, I advise you guys to go check out this bout that happened tonight when my cousin Jay Bleeder from Bay City Union, he got hit with a double chair in the face by these other thugs, NorCal Posse up from the Bay Area and from Rick Luxury. So kind of check out the website and get to know the teams on there and hit them up on Twitter.
I will definitely do that after this show is over tonight. I'm going to check that out for sure.
Sounds good.
So now, how can people get a hold of you on Twitter?
I'm at the real Rikishi on Twitter. I've been having a problem with Twitter trying to validate, give me that blue check on there. But finally, I got a very interesting tweet from a longtime friend of mine, Mick Foley, and Mick Foley validated that I was the real Rikishi on there. So I want to send a shout out to Mick. I love you. Thank you so much, and I miss you out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of that going around. I think Hulk Hogan was trying to validate himself as well. So.
Yeah, I know. Twitter needs to get their act together, dude. They need to get their act together.
Well, we had Shawn Michaels on Wrestling News Live a couple weeks ago, and he had to add an underscore to after his name to validate himself because somebody else had already taken the name.
Well, hopefully they're able to fix those problems. But like I said before, we had that little problem before, and I went and I tweeted that my fans validate me. I didn't need Twitter to validate me.
Absolutely. Rikishi, I want to thank you for coming by.
This is Rikishi, and you're listening to Unplugged on the SNS Radio. Stay tuned and don't touch that dial.